tonight. It's a really tough act to follow, Isabel, and obviously she struck a chord with all of you. But I just want to try and outline a few points that I think are really necessary to underpin your questions to us later on. First of all, under the Natural Resources Management Act, the Natural Resources Management Board is vested with responsibility to prepare the water allocation plan. The part of the region I'm representing or in charge of contains the Eastern Mount Lofty Ranges water allocation plan. Now, not all of you know the extent of that plan. I'll just roughly outline that for you. To its north, it goes north of Tunkillo, Palmer and Mannum. There's a bit of a line east-west there. To the west, it runs along the top of the watershed, so the breakup slope. To the west, it runs to the Western Mount Lofty Ranges. To the east of that breakup slope, it runs towards the River Murray, and therefore the Eastern Mount Lofty Ranges water allocation plan. To the south, it butts up to Lake Alexandrina, and then out to the east, it touches at the River Murray at Mannum, but then goes inland and misses some of those plains area around the Murray Bridge area, but comes back to touch again the river down where the Angus Bremer system flows into the lakes. Now look, the region we're talking about is about 2,850 square kilometres, and the prescribed resource are surface water, groundwater and watercourse water, and they're all dealt with separately, and for many of you that's quite important to know what aspect of the water resource that we're talking about within that water allocation plan. Each of the areas is different, and I had conversations with a couple of people before the meeting started pointing that out, that we need to observe the differences in the different catchments, and down, this person said to me, down to the scale of farms. The data in a pre-prescription stage is quite limited. Some of it's very high quality, but it really is patchy. So for a first-time prescription, which is what's happening for the Eastern Mount Lofty Ranges, it's necessary to use high-quality data where it's available, but to model and average in other places where that data doesn't exist.
Leave it alone.
So one of the reasons for, if I might finish, is this, it won't be very long, but one of the reasons for doing that is...
Water tanks?
No, we're not talking about water tanks, as the Minister pointed out earlier. Stock and domestic are not subject to this water allocation plan, and the water tanks are not subject to this water allocation plan. Just let me give you a couple of extra bits of information. The starting question is a bit too early here. 77% of the landscape is used for cropping and grazing, so it's an agricultural landscape in the main. And within that there's 12,700 hectares of irrigation, so a really important basis of water-based industry. So we talk about on the high value end with, say, viticulture and stone fruit, and on the lower value end with pasture feeding the dairy industry, where milk has the value itself.
Yeah, you sold it out, you mongrel bastard!
Now, just hang on. A couple of other things just for you to know. The water allocation plan for the Eastern Mount Lofty Ranges is nearly completed, ready for release to the community for comment. And what we're asking you to do, so that will happen in 6 weeks or so, we're asking you to watch the papers, and there's a lot of interest in this plan, I can see. So we're asking you to make that known and come to the meetings or make your submissions, whatever you'd like to do. And Kim Good is going to follow me from the Adelaide Mount Lofty Ranges Natural Resources Management Board. He will outline what that board has done in response to the comment that has come in on the Western Mount Lofty Ranges. The final thing I just want to talk about is about